Hello everybody, welcome back to Motorsport Manager. Time to get 2017 underway. A couple things I want to look at here. First of all, our Pankowitz with her affair situation. That's still going to hurt her performance for 8 weeks. Gets that for 16 weeks, but we're looking at basically two races, I think. Probably by Rio, or at the most 3 after that. She'll be free of that and be driving better. So she's going to underperform some right here at the beginning. And then our GMA. First vote is going to be, do we want to add Guildford Track B? Points for all drivers. So that would potentially help us, at least in the short term. Gearboxes can be developed. Or we could revert the suspension systems to spec. I think those last two are the most important for us. So I'm just going to hold off, let them do whatever they want. Another track means more money, but money is not the key thing for us. Restricting part development, because the thing on part development is time. I think that's going to be what gets us competitive the fastest. And then I also took a look at this, and you can see our sponsor appeal level is way up. Our marketability is 58%. So all we need to do now is start getting some results. And you can make a good argument. I've been thinking about this. I think maybe I just shorted things a little bit too much in how much money I spent. But I'm not sure that I did. Basically, the plan for this year is, as I mentioned, continue improving parts. That's obvious. But also spend money like a drunken sailor in the headquarters. I got the tour center going. I want to just keep building up other stuff in the headquarters, if nothing else, for the long term. And then see where we're at afterwards. But I'm curious, really curious, what a full season of part development with the fully, good level factory now is going to do for us. So we'll see how that rolls. Let's get some pit crew looking at. And we are getting more selective here. Most of these I'm just going to reject. Pretty much anybody below 80 stamina, unless they have something that I haven't seen before, automatic rejection. Anybody that doesn't have at least a 7 in a stat, automatic rejection. So we got a front and rear jack. You might think about that. Done, 8 on the tires, 9 here, and 99. Definitely going to hire you. And then, I think probably Simons, you can go. And everybody is fresh. Start of the year. So let's see about our, nobody's going to be better than a 9 on the jacks, but let's see. Dunn got more endurance, so Avellino is now the backup. We've got Dunn in the top spot, Dunn and Hernandez on the jacks. 99 and 94 with a 9 ability, so not going to do any better than that. We got 3 8s on the tires and a 7. And let's switch Cronin in for Platten. Drops us down to 11.81. And then DeVos here is more of a backup. So what we're really looking for now is, you've got to have a 9 on the jacks or an 8 on the tires. Or we're just not interested in your services. Let's see. I think you got good stamina, but I'm still going to get rid of you. Just feel like our standards are at that level now. Yeah, and everybody else is at least useful as a backup. So 11.81, and we've still dropped to 9. Like other teams are still passing us. If we look at the other teams around, we're doing better marketability than both. You see some of the mechanics though, 3 and 4 star, designer 4 star. We don't know much about many of the drivers, but the one that we do, I think pretty much all came in at 3 star. And see, we got lower level designers here, so we're probably fairly middle of the pack. That's us. See, another 3 star, one of the young 3 star drivers. They paid through the nose here, by the way. 500K a race. That's a lot of money. ABT, they've got a terrible designer, so they may have a great car now, but that's probably not going to last. Sebastian Loeb, again, 3-star. It looks like 3-star is like, that's what you need to compete. And you got 4-star designer, 4-star mechanics for KC Motor Group. DG Sport. And if you look at also the staff over here, like our factory and design center now is above a lot of these. So, I mean, it's up and down. But basically, I'm feeling like you need at least 3-star to compete, and we're not there yet. But again, we're investing more. You look, like our HQ is above what a lot of these places have. So if we keep investing in it, by the end of this year, I feel like we could have a much stronger HQ, maybe even above average HQ, and then potentially stop investing in that, put more effort in the day-to-day, get a better chassis for next year, better talent possibly. I think next year, the way it's looking to me, we really want to start competing. So let's take a look at what we need for Vancouver, as the next step here is get our parts ready. And we can, of course, again do four lowest reliability parts. You can see the staff impact now, especially with 20 staff, much higher than even our good mechanics are going to be able to do. And then, yeah, let's move all the staff this way. But even then, he's going to max out. There's very little to max out on these parts. Just a few parts that have literally 1 point. So we're going to get all of that done before this next race. It's all going into reliability. And then every few days, I want to switch some things out potentially. Let's see, 63. Nothing lower than 63. So we can go a few more days with this. Vancouver, 63 laps, less than 2 miles, short race. Gives an edge to suspension. Ultra and super soft, 40% chance of rain. Our forecast says no. Medium fuel burn, high tire wear. And of course, remember our fuel efficiency is terrible. Staff center. And that would be nice to get people improving more, especially for the long-term stuff. Performance work is done. And Phoebe Kim. 95% marketability, 2.5 stars, 10 feedback. That's better. Let's see. Hedonist, lowered improvability, slacker, cycling racer. I mean, with some of these weaknesses, she would be a reserve driver only. Yeah, and I'm not paying the kind of money she's going to want to be a reserve driver. So, be nice, but nope, not happening. We'll keep looking around. Okay, let's take that out. And that one. And I really probably should be just working on the gearbox and suspension. And the gearbox is set. So I should make sure I'm keeping the 2 suspension parts in there. So on the others, yeah, let's put those brakes back in. Or the engine. Yeah, leave the engine in for now. And then, okay, let's yank that spoiler out. Put those brakes in for a bit. So, we're gradually working our way up. The suspension up over 70%. And then the gearbox at 80. So, we should be able to mostly get through this race. A bit of a question on the suspension. Could have focused that a bit more. More unemployed reserve stuff. There's no point even looking at those at this point. Yeah, so that looks like it's the same message we got at the beginning of the last year. I'm not that new anymore. I've been here for a year. So there's no point in referring to me as a whatever. Moving on. $19th or above. And we've got a couple more sponsors that are going to come up free. There's only one long-term deal, and that's our current bonus deal. The others are going to come up fairly early in the year. We're still looking at the last two spots. Well, we've got a downpour to deal with at first. Yeah. And we've also got to get used to our two drivers here, their lousy feedback, and the short amount of time that we're going to have to get things set up. I'm going to switch from inners to wets so I don't have to come back in. And then, of course, there's also how hard they are on the tires. Going to have to get a feel for that. All of those things with new drivers. I've got to get a solid understanding for their capabilities. $60-some laps. Probably looking at a 2-stop race with no rain and more if there is rain. Hugh's not nearly as comfortable with the default on this track. Shorten things up there for him. And so we went from 20 to 15 minutes. We're going to have to just do our best to get what we can out of this practice session. I'm not sure how long we're going to want to go on the first stint. All of those things, I'm going to have to just play them out and see as they are. And the first practice session of the year sometimes doesn't go the way you're looking for it to be. 7 for Pankowitz, 3 for Hughes, although Hughes was already on the race trim, so he's going to get out there a little bit quicker. And everybody else going out on inters, even though we're going to be wet for most of this. So I think that we were a little bit smarter than they were on that particular aspect. Yeah, you can see now with the track getting wetter, I'm going by them. You can also see that we're going up very slowly on our knowledge. You're getting a lot of level 1 stuff here until we get a decent practice driver. Let's just go ahead and speed up through this. Nothing but good news on the setup so far. A bunch of other drivers are out on wets at the moment. Hughes is stinking it up. Pankowitz looking quite much better, but we had the top 2 times till they started getting some wet lap times. More weight in the front. And I think Pankowitz is saying we want more weight in the back. And now we are going to... Is it going to be dry? Yeah. So let's see. Where are we? Let's go around one more time. Hughes comes in. And now Pankowitz will come in. Hughes still beating some of the other drivers, and Pankowitz beating one of them. But it is early. I want to make some adjustments, get over on dry tires. And it doesn't look like we're even going to get to level 2. So we're going to want to take our level 1. I guess it's possible, but very unlikely. Feel that with a long race and not very competitive car, we are definitely going to want these super softs. Ultra's really not a good idea when you're not going to go for a high placing. There's just such a drop-off in durability. And it, like, not that much of a speed gain. Okay. So you wanted to go this way. And then the handling. Oh, that's probably about right. Push it up that way. Acceleration, let's bring that back a bit. Try that. Race trim, switching the tires. Yeah, 71%, not great. Pankowitz getting everything but this, and she wants more high-speed corners. So we'll see one of them is right and one of them is wrong. We'll see how that works out. We want to bring this back probably about there. We'll give that a shot. You're at 81%, so that was better. I just want to get my level 1 and then nail the setup. Go ahead and come in. And I really do feel that a reserve driver would help us a great deal, especially with the shorter practice sessions, but we can't make that happen. %, that's better. So it looks like having the cornering on the low speed was the right move. Hughes was right, she was wrong. And then this was good and poor. So we want more understeer. Probably want it about the eye in the end there. Maybe something close to that. See here. Here. That's probably a bit low, but it gets everything else in line. I just want to see how that works. Down to 65%. Because, yeah, so maybe a little bit more oversteer on the handling, but mostly let's see how that rolls. %, so we're there except for this one. Now we had very poor, great, and good. So we actually want to drive this all the way down. Then if we come back here, that should be about as good as we can get it. Not quite there yet. 92%. So I think we want to drive this. Let's check in on the handling before I change too much. Great, great, good. So we want to be in between those two. Try that. Having a bit of a trouble with her car balancing all three, but we'll get there. And the weight's going all the way to the one side. See if we can get another reading. Okay. 99%, just... I don't think I can push this one anymore, so even though that's not excellent, I'm going to stick it right where it is. And close with Pankowitz. So, yeah, we'll just have little tweaks to make. Ended up in the last two spots, so we didn't go for any full lap times because we didn't really care what was going on with those. And nobody really concerned about us. Kind of a surprise, given how far down we were. Can we hit that qualifying objective? Time to see what we've got. Of course, none of that is even available to us while we work on getting familiar with our mechanics. 97%, not quite there. Okay, we want more speed. Then we had great, great, good, and great again. Okay, yeah, we want a little bit more oversteer and more speed. So we want this about here. I don't want that much, though. Yeah, that's about where I want it. Let's give that a shot. No sign of rain, so should be able to go out there and do a test lap. Meanwhile, Hughes, you just go out there and run in a real one. You're fine as you are. Pankowitz still with the much better form so far all weekend. Wow, all the way up to 10. Hughes, though, is positive. And he never got the car up enough. I didn't... Well, that's not usually a problem. It's a short track. I didn't boost his temperature right away. Beautiful. Switch tires and give me a real run. Hughes happy with it. He finished not that far behind some of the other drivers. Okay, those are faster. But that was only with good. We got perfect for Pankowitz, so and better form, obviously. We'll see how she does. Hughes has not beat anybody yet, though. Should be able to get out there for another shot. Pankowitz not happy, 22nd. So it looks like we're going to miss the sponsor there, now 23rd. We're not that far off some of these other drivers. They may have gone for qualifying trim or may not. So, I mean, it's looking like another year where we might be competitive with the last place teams. Maybe not. I mean, it's a real early read on it, but that's what it looks like at this point. Might be able to get another run out of Pankowitz. Hughes barely getting that perfect read. Gonna be close. Switch tires and go. Probably not gonna quite make it. Hughes with better form though, faster track. Would need to get quite a bit better off that first try though. Pankowitz was closer. And Hughes already almost a second behind the first sector. That's not a good sign. He is driving better than he was before. Not happy with his showing though. And he gets 20th. And did Pankowitz make it across the line? No. So Hughes improved significantly, not enough. We get 21st and 24th. And we miss out on the sponsor bonus. Shedden will be on the pole for W Racing. Time to see if we can turn any of that around in the race itself. And we have another fan with absolutely no clue whatsoever because thinks I have good fashion sense. Tarquini near the back of the grid for the pole-sitting team. Be a tough race tomorrow. No, it won't be just a tough race tomorrow. It'll be a tough race all year. Looking like decent weather to begin. "19 degrees. Clear, dry. We are not going to go with ultras. I don't care how much you like them. We'll give ourselves that 5% race trim. And might as well go with that. Full loads of fuel. Sticking with our setup. So we're expecting to have 2 stops. For both drivers. Both drivers have about the same tire usage this time, which will help us out a bit. And then we're going to want to get a handle on how much fuel we're using because of our fuel efficiency situation being worse this year. So Hughes up in 21st. Sad to say up in 21st, but that's the way it is. And manages to get ahead of Huff and then fall behind. Both Huff and Martin. Oh, somebody went off the side. Simona De Silvestro, I believe, is one of our new drivers this year. And we're settling into 22nd, 23rd ahead of them. 21st now for Hughes. For these first couple races, it would not surprise me to see Hughes outperform Pankowitz. But then after that, when she gets back to normal and the scandal sort of dissipates, I don't see it happening. I definitely think we're going to be in the same mode of we're going to struggle. We're going to need some help to get our sponsor bonus. All of that continuing. And boy, I am not doing my job. I'm not paying attention and burning up my tires. just didn't think they would fry that fast. I was obviously wrong. Alright, now let's just go back down to medium. Normally I wouldn't go down that fast, but I want to get double check on our fuel usage. 0.78 and 0.81 coming into this lap. There we go. Now let's bump back up to neutral and see if we can sustain that. 22nd and 24th. It's not looking too great. Hughes 8.3, Pankowitz 9.2. So we're driving fantastic. It just doesn't matter. We're not good enough. Yeah, I think the practice preparation with virtually no trim because of our bad feedback, I think that's got a lot to do with it. Wow, we didn't gain back hardly anything on that lap. We'll see if that continues. Huff getting a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. But if our fuel efficiency is really that bad, we're just going to have to go. And it is. It's not dropping hardly at all. I think going forward, probably at most, we're going to be able to like push for... Oh, well, there's somebody crashing. Okay. But at most, we're going to be able to push for like a lap. Yeah. And maybe not even that, because neutral is getting us virtually nothing back. So we're going to have to... I don't really have any choice. I've got to go low. Got to go low and get that fuel back. And I could do it later, but I don't see any reason to really do that here. Our tire temperature is holding. So I want to get this down to like a 1/10 on the fuel. And yeah, so we're gonna pay a price for the bad fuel efficiency this year. There's no question about that. Because we can't push at the start of the race. We can't hit the accelerator hard at any point. Really. And now we're going to have to spend several laps on low just to get down to where we can actually finish the race. On the other hand, Hughes is in 19th right now. Pankowitz 22nd. So there is a, chance that we could pull this off, although, yeah, Georgi behind probably going to pass us, at least from now. But they're going to burn out their tires. Some of the other cars are going to have to pit more using softer tires. So something could happen here. Accelerate a bit, since I'm going to be sticking on this pretty much no matter what. It also looks like Hughes' tire temperature is dropping a little bit better. He might have an advantage there. Or maybe he's just driving better. Go ahead and put him on push and try to stay up there. 9.8, wow. That is nice. So right now we're holding on to that sponsor position. Got to back off. Give a bit of a run to Pankowitz in 22nd. 10.0 on the form and 9.9. Both drivers at 10. I have never seen that before. Too bad it's not going to do us any good. Well, they're holding at 19. No sign of water. And Hughes still up. There, he lost it. We've gained back about half the fuel now that we need to, and it's taken us like 10 laps to do it. We can't gain back fuel quickly at all, no matter what. Some drivers going into the pits. Let's slow this down a bit. Lap 13, I think we want to come in a little bit later, around lap 22 or so. It looks like who's got the worst tire wear? Hughes does by a bit, so I think bring in Hughes on lap 21 and Pankowitz at 22. And I think we're using the tires a bit much overall. So I'm just going to leave them on neutral and let that tire temperature drop. I don't want to push them quite this hard in the future stints, it looks like. I am interested in seeing how competitive our pit stops are when we get to the end of this race. I'm going to start tracking some things like that. And Hughes slides to 19th. Pick up some more positions as other cars pit. There's going to be a lot of up and down here. Pankowitz is up to 18th and driving at 8.9. But Hughes still our leader in 15th. Now our form dropping some. It was 9.4. Oh no, it's back up 10, then 9.4 again and falling. 8.0 for Pankowitz. And other drivers passing us, and then more pitting. Lots of up and down going, but again, I'm just sort of locked into the current strategy. I think I need to take this down under a tenth. I think I need to take it down to about 0.05 at least in terms of the fuel gap. 16th and 17th now. Okay, and with the tire wear as it is, I'm going to drop to conserve. Not getting quite as much out of them as I thought. Yeah, we're down to 0.05. We'll go medium there. And now Pankowitz at 0.05. We still may need to have to bleed some off later in the race, but for now we'll hold that. 2 more laps for Hughes. We'll switch to neutral on the tires now. '14th and 17th. But we have not come in yet. A number of others have not either. I still wouldn't bet too much on us getting that sponsor bonus though. Both cars now in the red. Hughes with another lap to go. And 2 for Pankowitz. That's going to get those down quite a bit. We're going to want to be careful on these tires and keep them, conserve as much as we can to get through this race. Switch to a fresh set. Standard stop, only 9% risk chance. That's lower than it usually is. And Hughes all the way down to 6.7, Pankowitz at 6.1. So the euphoric start to the season definitely fading away. Pankowitz's tire is going to be looking pretty dire by the time we're come in. But no way we can pit on the same lap, so it is what it is. See how Hughes does in here. Good stop. Going to drop to last regardless. Pankowitz, it's time for you to come in. Another good stop. Okay, it looks like we're just going to settle in here and see how this goes. Other drivers stopping. Martin's going to need to stop. But we're going to need a lot of help. And Hughes did not get by anybody stopping there. 304 Morbidelli Falls. Yeah, and everybody else who's pitting is coming out ahead of us. So unless they've got to go in an extra time or something, they're pretty much going to clobber us, especially with both of our drivers now down. So, I mean, we're definitely less competitive than we were at the start of last year. But I think that's largely because other teams have hired better drivers and we haven't. We've been saving the money. And there's Huff coming in. I just don't see the point in investing in a lot better drivers when, again, when our car parts aren't up to snuff. So I think we're doing the right thing here by investing in the marketability, bringing in more money, get everything up, get a solid amount of money in the bank, and then we can really go after better chassis, better talent in the car, all of those things. We got to get through another year of direct first, though. And Decker pitting for the second time and still ahead of us. Well, might as well speed it up a little more. Got nothing going on here. We have caught up on the fuel. So it looks like I backed off that a little more than I needed to. And again, that's something we're going to tweak as we go by. There's Nagy needing to do some repairs. And that's the kind of thing we need. Now we're up to 21st. What's our part condition? Yeah, I don't want to push it all to use a little bit more fuel when our part condition isn't great. And I wouldn't expect it to be. First race of the year. Other cars may have to repair more. I'm hoping for that. So we are 2 spots and about 10 seconds off. Pankowitz's best lap of the race, but still 8 seconds behind Hughes. Several seconds behind DuPont. Comes out after having pit second time. Shedden has to do some repairs. We'll move ahead there. Don't know if we'll keep the head. Looks like that's far enough back that we will, though. Okay, that's 20th and 21st. We only need to gain 1 more spot. Make that sponsor bonus. Regular pit stop for Oriola. Probably not going to do it. Oh, Hughes does make the pass. But not Pankowitz. Oriola will pass Hughes, so we each have one stop to go, I'm sure. That's probably not going to be enough for us to keep that spot. We need somebody else has to repair. There we go. There's Panis coming in having to repair. Keep over pushing your cars, everybody. And of course, I don't know for sure that we aren't going to have to repair. But I don't think we're going to. We'll pit in the same order on the next set. 42nd lap for Hughes, 43rd for Pankowitz. Weather, no sign of anything else. Straight as it can be, track gradually getting faster. Hughes up to 18th now. Pankowitz 20th. Looks like we're going to get that money. Hughes up to 17th, but that's going to be very short-lived, I think. You can see our tire's not doing particularly great, even with this, you know, conservative use of them. So, yep, 18th and 20th, but back up to 17th as Mola comes in. Comes out ahead of Pankowitz, 17th and 20th though, and we've got about a 8 plus, almost 9 second gap on that spot. So, both drivers driving well, especially Hughes. And our race leader is going to come in and do some repairs. How far will that drop? Another car coming in to do repairs. Katzberg. Briefly got by him. You can see they've got, like, it looks like a better car. Looks like they're keeping that car model that they had in the higher division, which is weird. There's Huff coming in. So all of a sudden we're up to 15th and 19th. And hold the phone. We're now on lap 43. We're finishing 42. It's time. I almost let this pass us by. It is time. Obviously we're now hoping strongly for no screw-ups. About 11-second gap between them, which is just enough that I have to split Pankowitz off to the next lap. More repairing for other cars. Pankowitz up to 17th for the moment. Hughes coming out in 20th. No apparent issues. Suspension's iffy. Everything else should make it just fine. But when Pankowitz comes in, Hughes will move back up to 19th, taking that sponsor spot. And no problem there. Back up to Hughes we go. And it's time to pretty much ride out the rest of this race because we are not taking any chances. We do have some fuel bonus. And it's looking like about 0.07 or something, less than... Yeah, I know. Like, it's less than 100th, 0.007. Less than 100th of fuel that we're gaining per lap when we're on neutral. So, as opposed to being 0.04 to 0.05, 4 to 500th. So, it's only a fraction. Like, we're getting a 7th or an 8th of the fuel back. Which was a real issue. I do think for the next race I'm going to try pushing for the first lap and then going neutral and seeing how that does for us, that avoiding going low. We are at 19th and 21st now as Panis comes in. We have 15 laps to go here in Vancouver, but it looks like we're going to get that 80K we're looking for from our sponsor bonus. Not a lot. We're taking every little bit, though. So Hughes with about a 4-second, almost 5-second gap. But here's Decker having to repair. So that should confirm it for us. Yep, up to 16th. Pankowitz 20th. And Benani was in 3rd place and has to retire. Now we've got another car doing repairs. About 10 laps to go. The engine's getting iffy. Other parts starting to get low. The suspension here with over 10 laps to go. That's not looking great. We are 13th and 18th. %, 28%. That suspension's bad enough for Hughes that I'm going to go low. I'm just going to try to finish the race, because we're not going to finish in the top 10, and if we don't, then we don't get any points anyway. So we might as well just try to finish. Yeah, I think Pankowitz can probably finish at our current speed. Fighting with Shedden for a spot that doesn't matter. Probably losing another spot here to Huff. But that would still put us 15th, and we've never... Last year, we only beat 15th once. Yeah, the one race that we finished 11th, and that was it. Everything else 15th or worse, and most of the time much worse. Nagy retires with a mechanical issue. True, but you're still doing better in your competition. Down 21%. And I'll boost back up to neutral here in a bit. Want to get through the rest of this lap, I think. Yeah, 4 to go. Now we're close enough that I think we can just leg it out. Pankowitz still doing fine, so we're 14th and 19th, now 18th. Now 19th again. Pankowitz and Panis having a fun battle. Nice of her to almost get a pass. But probably not going to make it. Three drivers couldn't finish. A bunch more having to repair. We can see some cars behind Hughes having mechanical issues. And here we go. Let's take the final lap at full speed for Jake Hughes. His first race for the Timex Racing, and he's going to do a good finish for us. It'd be second best finish that we would have gotten all of last year. Now the other cars will fix their reliability issues and we'll be in a world of hurt later in the year probably, but we'll also be improving our parts, improving our headquarters, all of those things. Finishes 14th. What does Pankowitz think about 19th if 14th was, okay. Not happy with it. Forget about it and just move on. De Silvestro with the win. Pit stop history, that's what I want. Fastest pit stop. So you can see like our stops were 31st, 32nd, 34th, 36th. Out of 50 some. But some of the others, you know, were involved repairing. Probably about there is where the break off is in repairing. So on the rest of them, and then we got some errors in there. But so we're in the low to mid 30s out of basically 47. So we're about 2/3 of the way down in the field. Roughly, half to 2/3. Because some of these stops up here would have just been tires and go. And yeah, they did fast strategy, so that would have helped them. But nonetheless, so we're almost competitive. That's the way I'm going to look at that. Almost competitive on the pit stops. Hughes finishes 14th. Drive-through penalties. We have the pole and then finishing 12th for Shedden. Fastest lap goes to Robin Frins. Both of our drivers made the sponsor bonus area though. Almost a minute behind here and a minute and 15 for Pankowitz. Of course, we have nothing in the standings. Nothing here. They're going to place us 10th. And we're not going to get the bonus money. Not yet. Not till some of the other teams get some points. We suck. I know they did well today, but I don't care. They suck. No, we actually didn't do well. Unless you count finishing in the middle of the pack because other teams couldn't repair their cars properly, doing well. Predicted 12th. We came in 10th. That should make everybody happy. Still knocks our marketability down to 52%, and that's going to be an issue for us. But, yeah, -5 marketability for -15 for a week, and then it'll pop back up. We gain 166,000. And we finish our engine, so we'll need to pop back in and take a look at that next time out. Our HQ, well, that's 2 weeks away. So all of that is in place. We have Phoenix coming up 2.5 weeks. That's the next one to get ready for. That'll be coming up next. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More Motorsport Manager will continue as we try to work our way slowly towards competitiveness in 2017.